this video is for you if you are a first-time mom, or you just delivered your baby and your supply hasn't come in yet, or maybe you took a little break and your supply went down a little bit. For whatever reason that your breast milk supply is not at its optimal level, this video is for you. And guys, I'm telling you, like, my breast milk supply changed within, like, I'm not even kidding, like within 24 hours, 48 hours. Like, it was actually like almost instant when I tried these things. So I'm really excited to let you guys know. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Esinam and I post videos on lifestyle, travel, and now motherhood because I am a first-time mom, and it's so good to see you guys. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you ways that I increase my breast milk supply. A little backstory: when I gave birth at 37 weeks, and it took so long for my breast milk to come in fully. Right now I am exclusively breastfeeding, but in the beginning I had to supplement with formula for like the longest time, which really broke my heart. I know it's not that serious as long as they're getting the nutrition that they need, but I think in my head I always wanted to breastfeed. So when it didn't come in right away, I was really like sad. So I tried some different things and I found the things that worked for me. So I would like to share with you guys. Okay, so before I share, I'm assuming that you're eating enough calories. I hear like 500 calories more. I'm not really a doctor, so I'm just gonna say you're eating enough and you're drinking enough water. So staying hydrated, because we all know that breast milk is a huge percentage water. So yeah, so just keeping those things in mind. I'm just assuming that because I've seen a lot of videos where they say drink water. What about if you already drink water? Because I was drinking water and I was still not working. Okay, so the first thing that I tried was pistachios. I had no idea that pistachios could affect your breast milk until now. A little backstory about that: when I had just given birth, I think this was like a month in or so, we got a huge bag of pistachios from Costco, and then I was just like, okay, let me just snack on them because, you know, it's a healthy snack, it's good for you. I just like ate like a whole bunch of pistachios, and then I noticed that shortly after, like maybe a day or so after, I noticed that my breast milk had increased, but I didn't really put two and two together to think that it was the pistachios that was doing that. So my mom actually pointed it out and was like, oh, you know, your breast milk has come in. I'm just like, yeah, you know, whatever I'm doing is working, da da da. So when we ran out, I know that like it was almost like a few days after my breast milk, like it reduced drastically, and I was so worried because I was just like, what am I doing wrong? My mom pointed out that was it the pistachio. So then we're like, hey, let's test it out, and guys, like, my breast milk came back and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know. So I googled it, and apparently almonds also help with breast milk, and cashews. So my number one, like, till now I still eat pistachios just to keep my breast milk supply consistent. So yeah, guys, if you haven't tried pistachios for breastfeeding, for breast milk, go get some. It might work for you. Try almonds as well, cashews, yes, get all of that. Number two, oatmeal. Oatmeal, I'm sure you've heard of it before, probably. You can even make lactation cookies with oatmeal. A friend of mine actually has a video on that, which I will link in the description, making lactation cookies, or you can just Google it. I personally do not enjoy oatmeal. I eat it because of breastfeeding, but I don't particularly enjoy it. So if you're not really a fan, you can just make it in other ways, like with the cookies and whatnot, or in a smoothie. You can also mix your oatmeal with your nuts. Like, you can just add your pistachios in there or almonds, and you have a nice healthy breakfast and good for your baby as well. 3, pumping. If you don't pump, breastfeeding as much as you can. For me, breastfeeding was like, in the beginning, was so tough for me, guys. Like, it was so hard because my nipples will get cracked and sore so much, so it was just really difficult. So I would rather pump to get my breast milk in, and the pump that really did it for me, guys, which I recommend every first-time mom to get, is the Medela hospital grade pump. Like, that pump is everything because it mimics the way your baby feeds. Obviously nothing compares to your baby actually sucking, but this pump, it comes really close. So I rented it for about $90 a month, It's pretty pricey if you buy it outright. I think it's like over $2,000 or something like that. But if you have the money, why not? Because it's like a long-term investment if you're gonna have multiple children. For me, I just needed my breast milk to come in, so I rented it for about 2 months, which did the trick for me. Like, after I got that pump, plus the pistachios, plus the oatmeal, guys, I was freezing bags and bags of breast milk. Trust me, it did it for me. Like, yeah, I loved it. The pump that I had, the Bella baby, was not working for me. So thank God my friend gave me a Lancino pump. She had an extra pump which she gave me. God bless her, because that has worked way better for me than the Bella baby pump. So I would suggest that you get the hospital, like if you can, rent the Medela hospital grade pump, because it's such a powerful machine and it just does the trick, guys. So a third thing that I would also suggest is Fenugreek. I didn't like Fenugreek because it made me really gassy, and then it made my son really gassy. So he was like really, I think I took it for about 2 days. I started smelling like maple syrup, guys. It's so weird. And then my breast milk did come in, like it worked, but I started noticing that I was really gassy. And then my son was also reacting to it. He was crying all the time. It was just not sitting well with him. So I had to stop. And guys, the hardest thing I had to do ever, like oh my gosh, I had to pump and dump, and I think it took about 4 days before it cleared out of my system, because every day I would give him some of the breast milk to see if the fenugreek had cleared, and it took so long. It took about 4 days, guys. Can you imagine like pumping and dumping, especially when you're so desperate to get your breast milk in, like you're trying everything that you can, and then you realize that this is not working. You have to literally dump. Like it was so heartbreaking. I couldn't even do it sometimes, because I'll just be like, okay, here are the bottles, and I'll just tell my brother to like just dump it down the sink, because I couldn't do it. I'll just leave and then he'll just dump it down. So Fenugreek absolutely did not work for me. It might work for you, you can try it out, but for me it didn't work. And I also want to take this moment to also advise that if you want to try something, especially with vitamins or any kind of supplements, I would say like try one at a time to see how your body reacts to it, and also how your baby reacts to it, so that you can do a process of elimination if anything goes wrong. So now I'm going to go into a different section. I'm Ghanaian. There are some certain foods that we eat in our culture that also produce breast milk. So if you have Ghanaian friends, or maybe you have an African store around you, you can get them to make you some, or you could just Google or YouTube. There's so many recipes on here on how to make it. One thing that I love and that really helps with my breast milk is kenkey, like fancy kenkey, especially when you mash it, like when you make like a little smoothie out of it. So basically you just put the kenkey in water, and then or milk, and then you blend it until it's very smooth. You can add in your, like what I do, I add in my pistachios, almonds, like whatever kind of nuts, and some sugar, and it's so good. It's such a good snack, and it also helps with breast milk, so it's kind of like a win-win, to be honest with you. So I really love mashed kenkey. Another food that helps with breast milk, my son is here, he woke up from his nap. Palmnut soup. Palmnut soup, it's also really tasty, and it helps increase your breast milk. It's so good. It's a little complicated to make, so if you're not Ghanaian, you don't need to sweat it. Just do the other stuff that I mentioned earlier in the video. But if you're Ghanaian and you have, or you're Nigerian, you have access to palmnut soup, definitely run and get it, because it really helps with your breast milk. Oh, and one thing that I forgot to mention was power pumping. Yes, power pumping helps to increase it really quickly, because it mimics cluster feeding. So basically, schedule for power pumping is, I think, honestly, I'll just link it down, I don't remember. And I think it's like you pump for 20 minutes, then you wait 10 minutes, then pump for 20 minutes, then you wait 10 minutes, something like that. I'll put it up in the screen somewhere. But you do that basically for an hour, and then you wait and do it again the following day, and then like within a few days your breast milk has increased significantly. So power pumping really helps as well. So yeah, pretty much these are the things that I did to help my breast milk, and it could help you. Everybody is different. Something that works for some people doesn't work for everyone, but honestly, pistachios are the truth. I still eat them till today just to keep my breast milk consistent. So I would definitely say try it out if you haven't. Try some oatmeal. How to keep hydrated. Make sure you're eating enough. You're not stressing too much. Try not to stress. I was always stressing all the time, like, yeah. Because that's just what new moms do. That's just what moms do, guys. Like, just know that you're doing the best that you can. I know it was really hard for me, but finally, yeah, I know it was really hard in the beginning for me. Take your time. Don't be hard on yourself. Your breast milk will come. Believe me, I thought that I was going to formula feed for a long, like, I started exclusively breastfeeding like after 2 months. These are the things that really helped me, so I would suggest that you try it out, and I know it would probably help someone out there. But thank you guys so much for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe, and yes, my love. Yes. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Say bye-bye.